So let's learn about functional props. So at the moment we know about passing props down so we can render the components dynamically, so we can reuse this component over and over. Now we're going to learn about how we can actually use this prop and pass a functionality back to its parent, so we don't actually have to run the function itself on the component, which I'll show you now. So let's make a function and let's call it handle alert, and we're just going to chuck an alert out to the browser and say this is an alert, and then we're going to add an extra button, and the button takes an on click, and to pass a function to the on click you've got to use curly braces, like I said earlier, where you have to use it to get anything from the JavaScript itself rather than the HTML we're typing. And so we'll do handle alert. Now I know normally what you do to call a function is you would type the function's name and do brackets at the end of it. Now the reason you don't do it on an on click is because if you did that and we set the button and let's say click me, every time this page renders it will call that and continuously call it, because it's running through and it's not telling it that it wants to be called when it's actually on clicked. It's just seeing a function and calling it straight away. So you only pass the name in. So if we save that and go back to our hello world, we've got buttons, click that, and now we're getting an alert. But what happens when we want this alert to say something different? So let's say we want it to say props. We destructured it. So say we want it to say the title. Now we can do it like that, where we could pass the prop down. So that's card 1, that's card 2. But what happens when we're not passing the information down to that card? We're not going to be able to do it because we're going to be calling, like, say the information's up here. So let's say we have a const alert message hello from Ryan. Now we could pass it down, but it's pointless. So instead what you want to do is, if we create a function and we'll say on alert in the parent, and we will create the alert, and we'll pass in the alert message, and then we can actually pass that function down as a prop. So let's say on alert, and we'll do the same thing. So we'll pass it as a function and we'll send that to all of them. Save that. Now if we delete the function on the card, and instead of calling that function we can call the prop. So let's destructure the prop. So let's say on alert and get that prop, and then we can call that prop from the component, and it does the same thing, but now we're passing a function into the prop instead of a property itself. And that comes quite in handy when we're for reusability of components itself.